everyone, I am going to do something a little bit different today than I normally do. I'm going to just kind of play, and my idea here is to do a 10-minute project with a jelly print, and so I want to make a postcard. I cut down 2 postcard sizes in case I mess one up. I used mixed media paper, and this is the 184 pound, and it's a 9x12, and I cut mine down to 4x6, and I did a little sketch out of kind of my idea here, but I'll probably mix it up just a little bit. So what I wanted to include in my postcard is the makers of mixed media has a collage prompt for the month of March, and I'm going to, I think I have all of these items kind of pulled out here, so that's going to be my reminder of what I'm going for. Got some ink pads over here on my kind of sorted area. I have tea, so this says your tea-rific. There's a little teacup and a little tea bag, so those will be my tea items. Daffodil, I've got this little stamp that has a daffodil, a couple of daffodils in there. And then I've got Polaroid, so I cut one out, but I have the die cut if I need to cut out another one or any more. Gold, I already did this off screen. This is just with my glimmer foil. So I glimmer just a note that go on my postcard. I've got rainbows here and arches. This is kind of like Gothic arch 3D embossed folder. And then I've got my colors, rainbow colors over here. So I'm going to get started. First, I'm going to do my jelly printing. And just gonna move everything off to the side while I jelly print. So the items I'm using for jelly printing are the rainbows and the arches. So those will be my textures. So let's see how I want to do this. My postcard is going to be in this orientation, and this will fit it. So I think I'll do that. I'm not gonna be real careful about this. I'm just gonna put some colors down. Just press my stencil in. Good coverage, okay. Just gonna put down a few of my colors. Putting colors next to each other that will blend well. I don't know how this is gonna look. So it's going to be a surprise for me. And normally I plan things out a little bit. So this is a little bit more fly by the seat of my pants. This might be a little bit too much paint just to get all the colors in. So we'll see how this looks. It might look like mud. Okay, that's what we're gonna do there. I'm using my smaller brayer for this. And what I have a little roll off paper over here. So my yellow and my greens, I'm gonna try to keep those a little bit separate from like the purples. Maybe the green. Well, the yellow will look good with the green, and the yellow will look good with the pink. So let's do this one next. Gotta press in to get into those holes. And then got this color right here will mix, but I don't know about the orange and the purple, so just gonna kind of gently blend those together. A little bit of the green over here. Okay. And the orange. Pink and orange go well together, so those will be good. So pink over here, and I'm gonna brayer off before I go into the blue. Okay. So that's still fairly thick, so I'm just gonna go through and kind of thin out the paint just a little bit. Hoping I don't get mud when I lift this up. Hoping to have each of the colors kind of showing through for the rainbow part. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. All right. And I'm just spraying. I've got just a little tin here, and I'm just gonna spray this with some water just so that the paint doesn't dry on there until I can wash it. And I'm gonna throw a baby wipe on top. Okay, I'm gonna keep those handy. So next, what I'm gonna do is I want to have this dry just a little, but I do want to pull some texture while it is still wet. I'm trying to decide. I think I want the thinner side because I don't want to pull up the design, but I do want to incorporate the arches. And I'll do it again over here. Don't even know if those will be very visible once I pull this up. And then to get it to dry, just gonna use my blower tool. And I think on top of it, I'm gonna use the gold. I have a bright gold here. Either that or I have kind of like a buttery creamy color. Make a mess. Okay. Might do that one or mix the two. Okay, but this does have to be completely dry. So while that is drying, I'm going to set this off to the side and do some stamping. So, got my piece of paper already down here. And just going to use my Polaroid as a template so I know where I want my T to go. So my idea is the T is going to go inside the Polaroid. And I think I'll put that stamped on top. And I might just have this go right next to it so that you know that it's a T. Then I'll just figure out where I want to die cut it. So I think that'll look good. And I'm just going to use my archival ink. This is watering can. Okay, I think that's the best it's going to get. And while I still have this down, I'll use my words. Make sure it fits. Might come in just a little bit, like that. And that one I'm going to use the black. Press. Okay, like that. Here's my baby wipe. these. I can work on that later, but now I also want to do my daffodils. So I will do the daffodils over here. Actually, yeah, because I'm going to be pulling, I think what I'm going to do, my thought process is after I pull this, once it's jelly printed, then I'm going to stamp on top of the jelly printing, and then I'm going to layer up the tea, the Polaroid, and the note. Okay, so I'm not going to do this just yet. I think I'm done with stamping for now. Set that aside, and I need to color this. So I'm just going to use some markers. I'm just going to use some Prismacolor markers. I got these on sale, they were half off. But they're nice and light colors, so I think that will be pretty. These are sticking together. So we'll do a little bit of the pink heart. Let's see how these colors work together. Should go really well because they came into a set. So for my tea, there's kind of these peachy colors, which kind of look like tea. Can't see which one is lighter. There's a light peach and a deco orange. The light peach is going to be lighter, so we'll do that one first. I'll just color in my tea bag that color too. So this paper is 110 pound Nina white cardstock, whereas the mixed media paper is much thicker. Blend those, just going to go in with the light peach just right over the top. Okay, that'll be my tea. And the cup, which is really pretty blue and light blue, so I think I'll do the base of the cup in the light blue and go over it with the darker. Kind of looks like a china cup color. So this is all giving me time for this print to dry. I don't want the colors to mix once I put my color over the top, so I want to make sure that is very dry. So this is perfect. The idea with this video, my husband challenged me to see if I can do a 10 to 15 minute project with a jelly print from start to finish, recording it without stopping my recording. I've not done that before, so this is a challenge for me, and I'm gonna see if I can do it. This is a jade, a pale jade, so I'm gonna use that for my smoke, almost like a gray. And I'll use that over here too. Okay, and then just a little bit of detail work on my cup. Do some shadows. And I don't mind if it's not perfect. The thing about alcohol markers is they're very forgiving. They blend well together, and even if it looks like you have harsh lines, they tend to kind of even themselves out as they dry. And when you use the color, lighter color right over it, it really helps blend them back together. Okay, so that's going to be my T shadow, and I am going to just real quick off screen cut this out. And this is tricky because I have to cut it perfectly where my design is. So I'm using a little bit of tape. So here's what I did. Got another Polaroid in here. I'll set that aside. I might need that later. But that's the part that I'm going to use. So with my Polaroid piece that I cut out, I do want to do some inking to this. I have some antique linen. Just gonna go around the edges with it, just so it gives it some separation from the Polaroid. All right, time-wise, we're at 16 minutes, so not really good at this, but let's just see if I can pull this off real quick. And we're almost done. So I was going to mix these two. A little bit of the cream, a little bit of the gold. I'm going to use my bigger brayer. That was a lot, so I'm going to brayer the extra off. Oh, hey, I cleaned off a lot there. It's okay. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit more off. I want to be able to see. I can't tell, but I think it's blending up a little bit over here, so it may not have been completely dry. That's the tricky part with Gelli printing live, is you not have the time to let it completely dry. I'm just gonna lay that there. Scrap piece of paper just to pull the extra paint away. So that's what it's going to look like. I don't know if you can tell. I do want to let that dry just a little bit. It's going to look nice because it's got a little bit of the gold, and then I have to let it dry enough to pull those colors up for the rainbow part. And I'm going to use this on a low setting. This is just my hair dryer. This really helps dry it fast. It's actually a cool setting. I'm going to use the cool setting. I want to really my jelly cake. This is huge. Okay. So I did smear my rainbows, which I was afraid of. So that just means it didn't dry. So if I were to do this again, I'd have to let it dry even longer. So not really ideal for doing a quick video. So this is what I'm going to work with. This is going to be here, and I do want to do my daffodils. So my daffodils are going to go right here. I use the black for this, so I have a lot of contrast. This will be covered up with my Polaroid, so it doesn't have to be perfect. That looks really good. So we'll stop with that. And let's see if I can assemble this. So, got this like that. It's my gold. Rainbow. Arches are in there, but they're kind of lost. So I'm wondering if I need to do something with arches. I have an idea. I'm going to, can't emboss this, but I do have my embossed piece of paper here. It has the arches on it. I might just ink that up with a little bit of that antique linen. Okay, let's see how this fits together. Tape it out. I think I'm going to, I was thinking about popping that up, but because it's a postcard, don't want it to have too much dimension. So I am going to cut this down. Do a little bit more on the edges. Okay. Do that. Now this is painted on, so this isn't going, this is waterproof now. If I were to have used my distress inks, I would have to seal it with something. But basically, acrylic inks will seal and it won't come up if it gets wet. Now, this is not sealed. That is the alcohol ink. Don't know if I need this, but I have this distress glaze. Just gonna rub a little bit on it. I think you would only reactivate this if it came in contact with alcohol, but just in case. So what you do is you rub it on. This is basically going to seal and everything underneath. And then you just get a clean rag and you just buff off the rest. And it seals everything underneath it. This is great stuff. So that's the distress glaze. Okay. So let's assemble. Do my frame first. Oh, speaking of sealed, okay, You see that? It got smeared here. So what I will have to do to seal that is impromptu. I'll have to re-glue this, but I've got some embossing powders. I'm just gonna do, I've got a clear, yeah, I've got clear here. Just gonna do a clear embossing powder. And that will seal all that. I'm not too worried that some of it smeared because it's going to be behind the T. But I don't want it to smear the rest of the way. And the reason it's smearing is because I used VersaFine ink on a shiny surface. VersaFine ink will, Versamark Fine ink will dry completely on a porous surface, but I made it a non-porous surface now. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set that. That aside. Okay, that's good. Now I'll put more glue on here. Actually, some of it's still wet. Just a little bit here. I do want it to show, at least like that daffodil. Okay. There's that, and my gold on top. Just a note. Thinking I'll line it up here. Do want this to be straight. Good. Okay, so let's see. Did make a little mess on the back, but that's okay. I'm gonna fill in the postcard part later. But let's see how we did. Let's zoom in a little bit here. All right, so we've got daffodil, rainbow, kind of hard to see, arch, Polaroid, T, and gold. So that is my attempt at trying to get a short video, which ends up being not a short video when I do it real time. And that is my March creative collab attempt here. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Maybe the next one will be shorter if I could get a handle on my drying times. I think that's what slowed me down, is getting everything to dry. All right, hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye.